Alrighty, what is going on, guys? My name is Skinny Bone Jones, bringing you guys my review of Monday Night Raw from August 24th, 2015, the night after SummerSlam. It has been so long, I want to say maybe over a year since I've done a review of Monday Night Raw, so make sure right now to leave a like down below if you want to see me bring Raw reviews back. And if you enjoyed Monday Night Raw tonight, because I sure did. So, we started things off. Brock Lesnar makes his way to the ring, former WWE World Champion. Of course, coming down to the ring with the Advocate, Paul Heyman. He looked at the broadcast team, thought we were going to see another beat-up of Michael Cole. The fans, of course, chanting Suplex City. Heyman basically talks about how it's an undeniable fact that Lesnar took Taker to Suplex City, and that he locked him in the Kimura, and that Taker tapped out, and, I think he said, the video does not lie. He said he understands how uncomfortable it is for, I guess, this fairy tale of, Undertaker winning to end. He said he's a father and that there's no Santa Claus or Easter Bunny. I was like, oh man, if there's little kids at home watching, this is going to be interesting with their parents. Yeah. So Heyman said the idea of Taker being immortal is basically a lie. It's a story. It's myth. And he tapped out to Brock Lesnar. But, of course, referee Charles Robinson didn't see it. They showed the timekeeper. The crowd booed. I saw on WWE's YouTube channel there was a video with the backstage interview of the timekeeper. Heyman said Taker put Lesnar in Hell's Gate. He said that because Taker wanted and needed Lesnar to submit, Lesnar told him GFY. That was probably the best line from Paul Heyman's promo here. So, of course, the fans chant Suplex City some more. Bo Dallas comes out after Brock Lesnar issues a challenge, issues a rematch for Undertaker right then and there. So Bo Dallas, I think, Brock Lesnar suplexes Bo Dallas about 5 or 6 times. He leaves the ring, the crowd boos, comes back to the ring, the crowd cheers, and then hits him with an F5 to finish him off. In this segment, Heyman was superb on the mic and Lesnar looked angrier than usual. I hope we hear someone take the side of Undertaker, as David Otunga did on the Raw pre-show. Yeah, I watched the pre-show. I had a lot of time tonight. Otunga made a great argument for Taker by saying he intentionally shielded the referee from seeing him tap out as if it were strategy. So after this segment, New Day winning the tag titles was recapped. The Lucha Dragons come out for a match against Kofi and Big E. Of course, the New Day, as entertaining as they are, come out playing to the tune of Frank Sinatra's New York, New York, Xavier Woods with the trombone and all. This was great stuff. They managed to get the crowd that loved them to boo them at one point because of their altered lyrics. They were like, they said something about how Brooklyn sucks, and the crowd didn't like that, and then they're back to cheering them. It was crazy. So we have Big E, Kofi versus Lucha Dragons in a non-title match with the Primetime Players on commentary. After the match, the pyro shot off on the stage, the Dudley's music played, and Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley entered. The broadcast team called them the most decorated team in history. Woods jawed at them. The Dudleys tripped up Woods, fought with Kingston and Big E. Dudleys clear the ring. Bubba and Devon hit the wasa headbutt to the crotch of Woods. Then the crowd yells, "Get the tables." They set up the table, perform 3D on Woods. This was a great surprise. The announcers put over the Dudleys. The fans loved it. I really wanted to see Bubba get a singles push, but I'm certainly not going to complain about the Dudleys returning as a tag act in a division that desperately needs a strong babyface duo. I thought the Dragons might get the next chance to fill that slot, but instead, WWE brings back the Dudleys, who have fresh matches with the New Day, the Players, and the Wyatt family. That was fun. I really, really liked that. It was definitely, Twitter was going crazy. The IWC was freaking the flip out. After that, we see a video package focusing on John Cena's 500th Make-A-Wish. Pretty cool, some respect to John Cena for doing that. After that, we have a SummerSlam rematch. Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. I think it was probably about 10 minutes or so, but Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose end up defeating Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper via disqualification. That's because at the end of the match, the lights go off, they come back on, and when they come on again, there was a huge guy with long hair wearing a sheep mask, a black sheep mask on the ring apron. The man took the mask off, then entered the ring and attacked Reigns, which of course caused a disqualification. After the match, he fought off Ambrose, put Reigns in a standing submission, released him once he was out, picked him up again, and performed a power move, which I'm sure we'll be finding out the name of in the coming weeks. Ambrose kicked him. The guy no-sells it. He performs a standing submission holding Ambrose. Ambrose rolls out of the ring. We come to find out that the big man is Braun Strowman, according to, I think it was Pro Wrestling Night or WrestleZone, one of those sites. He was also the Jolly Gladiator in Adam Rose's Exotic Express. So I thought that was, interesting. He's been with WWE for a couple of years. They did a little bit of research on him. But this is pretty interesting. The Wyatt family, now they have the full faction. Of course, Eric Rowan feels left out. And they are probably going to be stronger than ever. So far, Monday Night Raw is just on a roll. Loving every second of it. Then things started to take a turn for the worse. Not saying anything against the Divas, but we have Miz TV with PCB, Paige, Charlotte, and Becky. To be honest, I do not like the name of this faction. It's pretty generic, PCB. They just took the names of all three Divas. Yeah, Miz goes along saying he's friends with Ric Flair. Flair taught him the figure four, and he perfected it. Charlotte, of course, says she'll take on any man or woman. They basically promote themselves and talk about the Divas Revolution, how they are as good as the male wrestlers, and that they're basically here to take over and revolutionize the Divas. So it was a quick segment, to be honest. Miz at the end, Team Bella comes out setting up a match, and then they're arguing. Miz says, "When my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut," and the fans cheered. Maybe that's a hint as to how they were feeling about the segment. But it was a real quick segment. They made PCB honestly look like morons who were distracted by Miz, only to have Team Bella toss them to ringside. I could have expected a lot more from the Divas Revolution whole segment thing. I love the idea of female wrestlers being featured prominently on the show, but I really question all of the talk about how they can do everything as good as men while playing to an arena filled mostly with men. Sure, that type of talk appeals to the female fans, but I think they can reach them without going there. Okay, so now, I mentioned they have a match. So it's PCB versus Team Bella. PCB were in control, I think, for a majority of the match, but Team Bella eventually, I think, isolates Charlotte. The results of the match is the Bella Twins and Alicia Fox, Team Bella, defeat PCB. I realize that baby faces can't win every match. Becky Lynch got the pin last night at SummerSlam, but can we get to the part where someone's chasing the Divas Championship rather than having these pointless tag matches? Because honestly, Nikki Bella hasn't defended the title since, I think it was July 4th at the Beast in the East. I don't know about house shows, but they're hyping this Divas Revolution on all of these brand new divas in the business or on the main roster, and none of them are challenging the Divas title. I know they're trying to get rid of AJ Lee's reign, but I really want to see a Divas Championship match. Just because that you're trying to, further Nikki's reign doesn't mean that she can't be defending her title here and there. So after that, Stardust and King Barrett were introduced for a tag match, but when Stardust comes out, he basically attacks Barrett. He's probably pissed off from his loss at SummerSlam to Stephen Amell and Neville. Neville then comes out with his sweet new ring gear. Yeah, finally he got rid of the purple. And fought with Stardust. Neville set up for the Red Arrow, but Stardust escapes the ring. So after this segment, I was thinking maybe, just maybe, King Barrett can get rid of his crappy gimmick and become Wade Barrett again, and perhaps feud with Stardust. Yeah, that's probably wishful thinking. I think the broadcast team here speaks about ESPN covering SummerSlam, and they're talking about the Rollins versus Cena finish. We see pictures of it, clips of it, then a shot aired of Jon Stewart walking backstage. Then the Dudley Boyz are announced for SmackDown, Thursday Night SmackDown. That's pretty exciting. It's nice to see them hyping something that feels big for SmackDown for a change. It's been, I think, the announced team said over 10 years since the Dudley Boyz have been together on WWE TV, and that's pretty awesome. So after that, Jon Stewart made his entrance to the Daily Show theme, received an interesting response. Once he was in the ring, a "Thank You Stewart" chant broke out. He said some fans were happy, and they cheer. He said for those whose children were upset and didn't know who the mean old man was, he didn't do it for Rollins or the Authority. He did it because he's a fan of Ric Flair, and he couldn't let Cena tie the 16-time record. Then Ric Flair comes out, his music plays, heads to the ring, while Stewart's celebrating. He's excited, of course. I thought that this was going to be Flair giving Stewart a lecture about how it's okay for Cena to tie his record, blah, blah, blah. Flair putting over Cena, and that's exactly what it was. John Cena's music plays, heads to the ring to booze. The John Cena sucks, all that stuff. Cena said he's at peace with Stewart not wanting him to tie the record. Cena, talks about how he pried the U.S. title from Rusev. Now he gave chances to wrestlers the fans wanted to see get chances. He did the Cena hand, or Stewart then mocked Cena by doing the "you can't see me" gesture. Asked Flair if he could still see him if he did that. Cena told him it's not a comedy show. Stewart told Cena that he could win the title back. Stewart said last night was his moment and tonight is Cena's moment. So, WWE scoring mainstream publicity with Jon Stewart just isn't enough for me to come around on this. I like WWE. I like Jon Stewart. I just really, after a lot of thought, I don't need to see these worlds collide in such a high-profile match. I mean, last night was basically a title unification match. So after that, we get tomorrow night's the Tough Enough season finale, and then I think this was the main event. It was an 8-man tag match. We had Ryback, Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, and Randy Orton versus Sheamus, Kevin Owens, Rusev, and Big Show. Basically everyone else at SummerSlam who has not yet been featured on Monday Night Raw. So it was a pretty quick match, of course. Everyone gets their spots in, blah, blah, blah. Typical 8-man tag match. Ryback, Dolph, Cesaro, and Randy Orton defeat Sheamus, Kevin Owens, Rusev, Big Show. It was probably just under 20 minutes. It was your typical 8-man tag. But, nothing too special about it, at least that I remember off the top of my head. This was basically a time killer match. It was nice to see the big tag match. It wasn't, I say it was predictable, but didn't have that rapid finisher sequence at the very end where every single person hits their finisher. Then after that, we get some recap of Undertaker and Lesnar. They digitized the middle finger, of course. And then it's time for Seth Rollins' statue. Now, earlier in the night, they showed the statue in the authorities' office. But now that they bring it out and it's covered with the black, I'm guessing it's been, when they have it in the ring, I'm guessing it's been replaced by a mystery attacker. I hope I'm right. Or, well, I did. We'll get there, because that, honestly could be fun. So the statue's covered. Triple H and Stephanie come out. Steph said she would get in trouble for this. She said it's a celebration for Seth, but it's also Vince McMahon's 70th birthday. She said she knew he wouldn't come out, so she asked the fans to join her in singing Happy Birthday. Hunter said Rollins has hustle, loyalty, and respect. Rollins comes to the ring all smiles in his dress clothes with both title belts, both the WWE and the United States Championship. Rollins, one line I remember, said he's joining the Mount Rushmore of WWE. Said it might be bigger than a Hall of Fame induction. Compared it to, I think, Monument Park at Yankee Stadium. So Rollins acts choked up, getting emotional about getting his own statue. And then there was a drum roll. They raised the curtain, and Sting, the vigilante, the icon, Sting was standing right there on the platform. I like the idea of following up SummerSlam with a Rollins versus Sting match at Night of Champions. It would be hard to follow SummerSlam with a bunch of rematches, because honestly, I'm kind of over John Cena versus Seth Rollins. But they are delivering an attraction that a lot of viewers want to see. Sure, Sting lost to Triple H at WrestleMania, but the live crowd still loved him. And they covered it, having Hunter get worked up before making the match. The faces on Triple H, Steph, and Seth were priceless. Sting's entrance theme plays, and he's holding up the WWE Championship. Overall, Raw started strong in the first hour and finished strong. The middle hour was meh. The Divas segments were a little hard to watch. It wasn't a great show from start to finish, but it was still a newsworthy show, with the final segment with Sting, a debut with the new member of the Wyatt family, and a huge return from the Dudley Boyz. So, I want to know what you guys think of Monday Night Raw down in the comment section below. Give me your thoughts. Give me your opinions. Leave a like down below if you enjoyed this review. You want to see more reviews on the channel. And if you enjoyed Monday Night Raw tonight, of course, subscribe. if you're not subscribed already. And with that, I'm Skinny Bone Jones, signing out.